Hello, welcome to the Dark Combo Classroom. It's a nighttime stream because today is a nighttimey type of day. Unfortunately, it's been raining around here, and although I cleared some space for the computer to be dry, I just realized that the chair had way more water on it because it has a little indent, like the chair goes concave a little bit. So, wiped off some of that, but we're possibly gonna have a slightly wet butt too. That's as good as we're probably gonna be able to clean that for now. Anyway, today is the solstice. The winter solstice means that here in the northern hemisphere, this is a particular point of the sun's distance from Earth that is very special in the year. Let's get a little more light here. Not some artificial computer light unless necessary. We're going to see whether wet candles that were left out in the rain will light at all. See, it's a wet candle, but heat sometimes dries wet things. So maybe it'll dry it and then light it. Oh, I think we're on to something. Maybe not. Well... Oh, yes, there we go. So, wet candles can light. Now, I don't know if I have a good stand for this right here, so what we'll do is we're just going to melt the bottom of it here onto the desk a little bit. You know how sometimes you melt them onto a candle holder? Well, you can melt them just standing up on a desk, probably. Note the probably at the end of that sentence. Yeah, see, that works perfectly. It's standing up, and we're going to add a few more now, and I hope that they don't fall down. And we'll move these leaves. Don't worry, everything is quite wet around here, so it would be very difficult for fire to get far. Now, the solstice, while the sun's at this special far distance from Earth, makes it so... Whoa, look at this wick. Why is this one's wick so much longer? Oh no! I can't talk too close to it or I'll... Oh, but we could maybe do that cool trick. Have you ever seen this trick? Look, if I blow it out, I'm going to try and light above the wick. And sometimes the smoke lets it travel back. Did you see that? I lit far above the wick. Sometimes, I'll do it one more time. Way to the side of the wick. No, the smoke was going to the side that time, so it didn't work. But, let's wait a sec. Do you see that? I was way above the wick when it lit. I'll get a close-up of that on a better camera someday. Anyway, we'll add another one or two. Like this long wick one. I don't know why the wick's so long. But... Anyway, the solstice here makes this the shortest day and longest night of the year for the northern hemisphere here. And that is a turning point when it represents something major about the seasons that many cultures must have observed over history. A lot of different religions put holidays around this time, and there's different ones that I celebrate a mix of, like I've talked about in different streams and such. Sometimes my family will do more Hanukkah, sometimes we'll do more Christmas. I have a little bit of each of those in my ancestry. And there are many other holidays that are celebrated in this season as well, because it's the cold winter time, a good time to give gifts and enjoy nice things about life, like warm little flames that give us light and stuff. Thank the cavemen for discovering fire at some point. And like today, our little celebration, we do have a little celebratory feast, but it just involves a few special fruits. Fruits are very special, though. I love tasting old or new fruits. I have many old favorites. If I was asked to name my top 10 fruits, which actually happens a lot because I ask other people that question, then they ask me what my choices are, I ask other people that question a lot for some reason. If I'm bored in a conversation, I'll be like, what's your top 10 favorite fruits? And basically, it's hard for me to make a top 10. I kind of need to do a top 20 because there's so many good fruits. There's also so many fruits I haven't tried, and I will someday go on strange quests to try fruits, because if there's an excuse to go on a quest for me, it would be to try some like rare berry I've never tried before or something. Now, today's special fruits, but before we jump into that, what I do want to note is that although today's holiday may seem like a darker, gloomier one because it's the shortest day of the year and the longest night, it is also the point when the days begin to grow longer. From this point, the next half of the year, each day will have a little more daytime in comparison to nighttime. And so, for example, right now, I don't know exactly what time in the morning it gets light, but I imagine it gets light at around 5:30 or 6 a.m. 5:30 to 6:30 sometime maybe. And it gets dark at a similar time of PM maybe. But other seasons of year we get a lot more daylight, it seems like. And it's not as extreme here as some places. Some places get a much more major seasonal shift. If you're in certain parts of the Earth, you will have really long days and really short nights, or vice versa, and then it will slowly stretch other directions. And this is a turning point when the solstice hits, which is always around the 21st of June, the summer one, and December, the winter one. Sometimes it's a little earlier or later. They do even calculate a precise time when the sun is a extra special distance, and that precise time was shortly before the stream started. It was a little under an hour ago, was the time of the winter solstice, apparently. And this is working surprisingly well. I should try and go further so I can get my face too, but I liked seeing, or at least showing for a bit, how well they're staying. Now, we'll just add one fourth one to make like a little, quadrilateral, and then that should be a good for now. And on the solstice, I find it to be a good time to celebrate in our combo class all of these winter holidays and the mood behind them, because I don't want to necessarily pick one of the holidays I happen to celebrate, do either a Christmas special or a Hanukkah special. Maybe we'll do that someday, but I feel like that would isolate more viewers than just celebrating the fact that the season's shifting, something that is in all of our lives and our ancestors' lives. And regardless of even the ancestors that came before any of these religions, those ancestors noticed something about the season shifting, and if they paid a lot of attention, they would have noticed that there's a day where it shifts in a particular way in June. Well, they didn't call it June, but in that time of year, and another time when it does it in December. Now, as I've noted recently, it has been a harder period for me recently, partially because I was sick for a few weeks that I only really recently am almost all recovered from. And now I'm ready to jump back into action, and it's almost 2024, our tetrahedral number year. And in 2024, I have some really big plans, excited to jump back into action and work very hard to catch up on whatever missed time, all the notes that I've been collecting that I haven't had time to film yet, catch up on a lot of filming and editing and releasing. And so there will be more stuff throughout this week, but extra special stuff will be coming throughout 2024. And now let's talk about our special fruits for a moment, because they represent a few important things we'd like to celebrate. I have 3 special fruits here, and there will be a 4th, but the 4th one we will pick. Now, the first special fruit I have is the one we won't eat any of. And where did it go? That's how you know it's dark. I've lost something this large. A lot of people don't even necessarily consider this a fruit, but it's not only a fruit. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Not only a fruit, but a berry. It's a pumpkin. I better not drop this. I would destroy my whole quadrilateral. Now, this pumpkin and two smaller ones I have left over from Halloween. Well, a friend had this one left over, and I was like, I'll take it if you're not doing anything with it. And then I still have a medium one and a small one. So we have like a trio of different sizes of pumpkin that we still can, I don't know, we'll carve into something fun. It doesn't have to be Halloween to carve one of the largest berries you can find. I mean, in fact, as far as I know, pumpkins are the largest berry. You know, I dare you to try and find me a larger berry. I'm curious if you can. There's some pretty big berries, but bigger than pumpkins? Now, we might also try and cook the pumpkin and eat it at some point, but I suspect that nowadays they're making pumpkins more for carving than for eating. Pumpkins normally in the past, I remember, were really meaty and seemed like fruitier looking on the inside and feeling, harder to cut because of that. And they were full of seeds that you could also cook with or eat in different ways. And now they're like much hollower, full of air. At least the ones you buy around Halloween time, which is when they're available in my area. And they're like hollower, not as many seeds, and the outside's like drier and way easier to cut through. And I imagine if you were making like pumpkin soup or something, it wouldn't work as well. But we'll still try. I don't know. We have 3 pumpkins. Maybe we'll try eating each pumpkin. We'll cook them. I don't know. We'll see. That was just the first one I just wanted to show, but it's the one we won't be able to eat. This second fruit is already in frame, and it's just a representative of... Grapes are also botanically berries. And to be clear, you could watch one of the way older Combo Class episodes I've made was a Halloween special last year that was about berries and how... pumpkins in particular, but also just the berry conspiracy. And we looked at the Venn diagram between cultural berries, like blackberry, raspberry, blueberry, and botanical berries, which is a botanical definition that only includes a few of the cultural ones, as well as many other things. And grapes turn out to botanically be berries, which feels right. You know, it's like it's always felt like a berry. It was like, why doesn't it get in the club? Why is it not grapeberry? But, you know, botanically it is, even though some of the others aren't. Strawberries are known as like accessory fruits or something, and raspberries are known as like aggregate fruits or something. Blueberries and cranberries are both culturally and botanically berries. Now, this grape right here is a signifier of how big they're getting. It's not even the biggest one on the batch I had, but look how big these freaking grapes are getting. And the blueberries are getting really big. And I've asked older people, I'm like, were the fruits this big in your era? And they're like, I don't think so. Because even in my life, it seems like they've gotten bigger. And that's not from any like nefarious techniques necessarily. You can also do things like that just from selective breeding, just from a long period of you, over a long time, choose the ones that taste better and are bigger and regrow those, and don't care about the seeds of the ones that don't do as well. Sort of like a natural selection with human help, you know? And that causes them to get bigger over time. And so I'm wondering when we're going to be able to eat blueberries with dinner forks and knives. You know, a blueberry on a plate with a fork and knife. How about even just the intermediate stage? I want a blueberry that big. Might not be that long. It seems like they're making them fast. Anybody over 40 or 50 in the audience, let me know if you think even more than me that they've been getting bigger, or if you disagree with the hypothesis. They've definitely been getting better. If you look at old Renaissance paintings of like watermelon and stuff, which is the only way to really gauge exactly what they looked like unless you had a really detailed author, because you didn't have film or cameras back then, and they looked really bad. The old watermelon looked way worse than current fruits. Now it's like all air and rind and stuff. Now, let's take a peek at our comments. Thank you all for joining me on our nice solstice, even though it might not be exactly this time where all of you are. And this grape, I guess, we'll eat this for ceremonial fruit while I show you the next one. And you can, get your description of it in your head before I describe it. Don't censor this, YouTube. This is an orange. Anyway, this is an orange, but oh! Ow! Ow! I burnt my hand a bit. Ah, let me get the hose on that. Oh shoot, I got water on the computer now. Oh shoot, what's the hose doing? Oh shoot guys, I'm gonna have to end the stream and make sure my hand's okay. I'll come back with another stream soon, presumably. I'll try and get back to a stream in half an hour if I'm able to, but I want to make sure I didn't burn my hand too bad. Love you all, I'll be back.